Hi, and welcome to Sask Music's Indigenous History Month interview series. My name is LJ Tyson, and I'm joined today by Amanda Paul. It's very hard to call you Amanda Paul because we know you as Amanda Galler for so long in music, which it must be great for you. Married life, how's married life going?
It's good. It's busy. Three kids, so we're like on the go all the time. Have one sitting beside me. I can never really fully sneak away, but oh, there she goes.
There you go.
But I love it. It's busy. We do a lot of stuff, and yeah, it's
Do
good.
people that were booking you at gigs and stuff before, do they still ask for Amanda Galler, or are they kind of on board with the Amanda Paul now?
It's kind of half and half. I guess the people that knew me before, sometimes still use my old name, but for the most part, it's pretty good.
We've always known you as, and it's because you proudly tell people you are a proud Métis woman. Where does that pride come from? Were you raised like that?
Yeah, I think for me, it was something that we always were. It was like pushed upon us, and not in a good way. Like, this is who you are. This is. I guess my mom never wanted us to not know. It was something that she grew up not really understanding until she was in her late teenage years, and so she just always wanted us to, I guess, spread awareness. That's not really the right word, but like I grew up in a really small community of mostly Ukrainian, German immigrant families that settled here. And so I was one of very few Indigenous kids in school. And it was always, those stereotypical when we would come up in a textbook. It was like, oh, do you have anything to share on this? And it was like, uh, yeah, but it's not really appropriate, right? So I guess my mom always wanted us to just, I guess, just be proud of it and show. I don't know that like there's such a stereotype, especially in small towns, and I guess she just wanted us to change that, and yeah. So yeah, I
You,
guess it comes from my mom.
right. You played music all over the province and had some very cool opportunities, but you really won over the hearts of people in northern Saskatchewan. What's your relationship like with northern Saskatchewan?
It was something that like I guess started when I first did the Voices of the North show, and then I got asked to do with the traveling shows. Um, it's just a different vibe. Like they just are so happy for musicians to come there. Like they don't always get the opportunity to have shows, right? And they're so few and far in between that they just love it. Like they just are so welcomed into the communities, and it's just like I said, like it's just a whole different experience. You feel like people really want you there, and you don't always have that in shows in urban, like settings where people don't know who you are, and they're like kind of like, okay, I don't know, like you don't know how you're going to be received and visitor there. um, in northern communities, it's just always you're always so welcome, and because of like the radio stations up there, and they play the local music of Indigenous people, and you have this like fan base that you didn't even realize was there. Like I know at one time I was at a show and this woman came up to me, "Oh, you're Amanda Galler in this song," and she started singing my song. I'm like, oh my, okay. Like, and you don't even realize that these people like know your music, and it's just I don't know. It's just the communities are so tight knit up there, and the music community is just amazing up there.
Shout out to NBC Radio, Voice of the North
Yes.
you had mentioned, and of course the people of the North. Like I couldn't have said it better myself. Honestly, like it is such a different vibe, and it's often overlooked, unfortunately. Like a lot of
Yes.
musicians kind of skip traveling up north to go put on shows.
Yep.
They should. We encourage you to. You've done country music your whole entire life, and even put out a few original songs in the genre of country. I know you're a busy mom, and that's your main focus right now, but any plans to do some more original music?
I've been working on stuff with my husband, and he is more of a writer. And so you'll probably hear him pull up right now. He's more of a writer than I am, or I guess he enjoys it more than I do. I love writing, but I really need to be in the mood. And like in the last couple of years, it's just I haven't had the time. Like I've been like I had two babies, and it's just for me right now, um, that I value right now, whereas my husband does a lot more. And when I do write, it's like joining him on something that he's starting, or I'll sit there and, give input and help him, change things. But we're hoping to get some stuff done soon. And we have a lot of stuff that on the go. So, yeah.
You are known for being a great person. Number one, you're very friendly. You're like a helpful person. But I mean, I'd say the biggest thing you're known for is your voice. You have such an incredible voice. Where does that come from? Is that something natural? Did you really hone that throughout the years?
Well, my mom's family is pretty musical. My grandpa, is kind of just self-taught on a bunch of different instruments. And my mom sang with her sisters. So I always heard music growing up. It was just always at family events around the fire. But I guess it wasn't until like maybe I was like 14 or 15 that I started performing and realizing that I actually had not just, singing around the house voice. And my mom always encouraged me and always and pushed me to do whatever, made me happy. But the same thing with her, I guess she didn't realize how good of a voice I have, I guess. And then when other people started noticing, she's like, oh, okay, maybe this is something that we want to put more time into. And then I just started doing like smaller, the youth shows, youth talent shows, doing that kind of thing. And then when I went to university, it just kind of took the back burner for a while. And my voice, I guess, is just something that I've just always worked on my own. I took some really laid back voice lessons when I was younger, but I never wanted to do a lot because what I've always been told about my voice is it's very unique, and I have such a low talking voice, and it's really raspy, and that's something that I really struggled with when I was growing up, especially like the low, deep voice. And then when I started singing and doing these bigger shows, it was like the reverse, that people were praising me for this voice that I, was so different. And I didn't, like, for me, it was like, it was hard because it was something that I always struggled with. And then to get that praise for that, it was kind of like I don't know what you'd say, like it like messed with my mind a little bit. But then I quickly embraced it and realized that it was something that people like to hear. But I never really wanted to mess with it too much because of that. So I didn't do a lot of lessons. I just kind of practiced on my own and just I guess accepted the originality of my voice. There we go.
No, I love it. It's great. And I can't wait for you to put out some new original music. And I encourage anyone watching right now to go and watch some clips of either Amanda Goller or Amanda Paul on YouTube. Oh, you gave a cringe face.
They're old. There's sometimes I hear, like, even on my own phone, when my phone is in the car and it's shuffling and one of my old songs comes on, it's like, I don't know, in the time, I guess we evolve and change, and stuff that we liked back then, it's like, oh, I could have done that 1,000 times better. I could have done this different. But at the same time, it's like a picture of like where you were at that part of your life, right? Not just in your voice, but like in the lyrics. So it's fun to like listen to them, but at the same time, it's like, let's just make some new stuff.
We gotta get you and Kiefer into the studio putting out new original.
Yeah.
I don't do country music anymore, so I have to live vicariously through you too.
But we're getting it soon. Like, Kiefer's in his last year of school, so we'll have a little bit more time. Yeah, hopefully lately.
Hopefully, yeah. We'll let's end the interview on a fun game. I wish I had like graphics that could do like a game show thing. We'll do it a 1-question challenge game. Now, no one has been invited to sing the Métis national anthem more than you have.
True.
What is the first line in the Métis national anthem?
In the valley, on the river, a new nation rose up strong, I think.
I couldn't tell you, girl, but that's probably sounds.
I think so. Something about a valley and a river, anyways. I sing it so much, it's like one of those things that, I guess, like the Canadian national anthem, it's just like muscle memory. You don't even think about it. When you think about it too hard, you mess up the words, right? Because you're like, is that how it is?
It is a beautiful song, though, and like, this might be cheesy, but do you feel like a sense of pride and like you're celebrating identity when you sing that song for different people?
Oh, for sure. And I think a lot of it is that like a lot of people don't even know it exists. And I'm seeing it more and more. We just did celebration in Batoche, and someone else was singing it. And I was like, oh, I like, great. Like, I don't like, I used to get called to sing it. Well,
You're like, oh, who is this singing this?
no, but it's like that thing, like that's awesome. Like it should be more than just me. Like there shouldn't be only one person that who knows the Métis national anthem. Oh, I know this person. Like that's how it was for a long time, right? Like it should be, you should be able to ask like any Métis musician or Métis vocalist, and they should be able to sing it. Like it's just not something that a lot of people know about. And like you said, it is a beautiful song that tells a really proud story, and it should be out there more.
Fun fact, I think you know this, but the original recording of the Métis national anthem, like the one that's in the history books there,
Yeah.
Was sung by my mom, who is
I know.
He's not Métis.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange?
It's beautiful though. It's beautiful.
He had Métis babies, so that's all
Yeah.
that matters.
And again, like there wasn't like, our community is like, there's so many of us in the Indigenous community, but those outside of it don't really know. So like when things like that are needed, they don't really know who to approach. Right. So like it's so important for us to like build that community and make it so much more well known, because there is such a huge Indigenous musician community, but it is, majority of us are in the north or in the central north area. Like in the south, a lot of us, people don't know who we are, right? Or that there's this huge group of family. Like that's what we are, because we've had to be, right? Because sometimes we don't always get the support from outside, so we support each other.
The disconnect between it's an unfortunate disconnect, but the disconnect between the southern music scene and the northern music scene is so it's a very large gap, and it would be great if we could start maybe doing things like this, and then sharing stories will help bridge that. But no, you're so right. I want to thank you for taking the time to let me interview today. I know you're, like you said, a busy mom of 3, and you're also like a full-time working teacher. How's summer holidays going so far?
Good. I took a few days to like not do anything. And now it's like every single day I'm like, we need to clean the bedroom. We need to do our yard. We need, like, my poor husband, I'm like, well, this is the plan for the day. Like I only have 2 months to get everything done for the whole year. So
well, we will have to sneak in. You have to sneak in some music this summer. Sneak
for
in
sure.
Music, yeah.
Well, we do every Thursday night, we do an open mic night at Wakaw Lake at the regional park. So at least we get that. Like we have some gigs coming up, but we get to do that, a couple hours a week, get away from the kids and do our own thing. And it's like our little date night every week.
Well, someone could go crash your date night. Anyone that wants to see Amanda Paul and Kiefer Paul and their act that they have together, go join them. It's a beautiful lake, Wakaw Lake there. And you said Thursday, Amanda?
Thursday night, 6 to 8. And the restaurant is great. They have great cocktails. It's awesome vibes. We play out on the deck. It's beautiful. People pull up their golf carts. It's a good time.
Fun little Saskatchewan getaway for anyone wanting to do that. Amanda, where can people, once you do decide to put out new music, I'm being such a bully about that. Where can people keep up to date with that? Do you have music pages?
I do have a page on Facebook, but it's like really old and outdated. Most of our stuff is on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes. My husband has a pretty big following on TikTok, so you can check him, Kiefer Paul Music. But yeah, just the usual stuff.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks.